Why look into Western Massachusetts? Because we're going to go digging for a hidden gem. Hey everyone, my name is Matt Swerk. I'm a local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams Realty. Now, if this is the first time you come here, welcome. You definitely want to click the little subscribe button, hit that bell, like us. That way, every time we make a new video, you're going to be notified. All right, what's this channel all about? It's everything about Massachusetts. We talk about eating, sleeping, drinking, playing. We talk about Northampton, Massachusetts. Now, you have lots of questions. We have answers. You can reach out to us anyway. You got to remember, when it comes to Massachusetts, we've always got your back. All right, so today we're going to be talking about Northampton. This is, probably one of those places a lot of people, you kind of scratch your head like, where is that again? And yes, some of our friends out in Western Mass feel like they're lost, not on an island, that doesn't make any sense, but they feel like they're lost far away from the western part of the state because everyone focuses on Boston and the coast, and there is some absolutely beautiful locations and beautiful towns out in Western Mass. So today we're definitely talking about Northampton. We really look at this as like one of the hidden gems out there. It's a small city that's really, or a small town that's got some massive growth over the past really over the past decade. And what's interesting as far as Northampton was concerned is that they were actually one of the first dispensaries in Massachusetts. We had just recently legalized the recreational use of marijuana, so they put their flag there and they said we're the place. So they had lots and lots of traffic, lots of people coming in there. Everyone got really excited about that. So what's interesting is that as far as housing is concerned, dining, the job industry, everything has really flourished over the past 5 years. Now, not a huge population. It's just a little bit over 29,000 people. So Northampton's it's a small city that's out in Hampshire County. There's been a slight decrease in population over the past 5 years. About a 0.5%. So not like droves of people are moving out of Western Massachusetts, but it's something that it's a little bit further out from Boston. We're going to get into some of the pros and cons, but it definitely has a suburban feel for it. People looking for more space that don't want to be in the densely packed areas as far as the city's concerned. You definitely get a good dollar or value for your dollar out there, and it's a little bit different as far as a way of life is concerned. So a lot of people ask, is this a good place to live? And there's a place called Wolf Lake. Oh my gosh, absolutely beautiful, beautiful place to live. Northampton ranks well as far as the combination of education, low crime, cost of living, diverse area. So it really has everything you're looking for. And it's really truly become a special place for people that love living out in the Western Mass area. So ultimately, you got to think about, what makes a great place to live as far as a city or a town. Some people prefer that small town, that kind of that tight-knit community. Others want to have all the options as far as the city's concerned. Well, what's really important is that the place that you're moving to has everything you need as far as your wants and your needs, and you can definitely get that as far as Northampton's concerned. So one of the pros that we love as far as Northampton's concerned is it's very close to Springfield. So you don't hear a lot, the big major cities that you hear about in Massachusetts are definitely Boston, of course. Then you have the sister city, which is much smaller, out in kind of central South Massachusetts as far as Worcester's concerned. It's not really south, but I call it there. When you live here, you put things in different perspective. And then you have Springfield, which is the next major city that's out in Western Massachusetts. So Springfield, tons and tons of jobs out there. Healthcare is a huge industry out there, and tons of amenities. We're not talking about Springfield today, but I have to talk about the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's just one of those cool things. Anytime someone thinks Springfield, Basketball Hall of Fame. Springfield, again, as far as wanting to get into the city, it has some of those challenges, and we're not going to go through them, but when you think city and some of the factors that people don't like, that's something that Springfield has. So let's go back to the pro of Northampton, very close to the city. So if you need to have more people, more amenities, really, really close to live there. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, it's kind of a strange thing, but we refer to it as livability. And so the livability score, it's above average. And really, what is the livability score? It's yeah, light shines on Marblehead. It's how livable is that area, right? So no, we're not gonna say that. But really, it breaks down as far as what's education, what's the crime level, what's the cost of living, what is the overall happiness of the residents that are living there, and really, that's when it comes to Northampton, it scores very high. So that's great as far as people loving to be there and having everything they need. So livability, top of the charts. That's awesome. Now, again, with some of these sub-factors, the cost of living, this is huge compared to the rest of Massachusetts. The cost of living in Northampton is slightly lower than the national average, and with most of the cities that are actually in Massachusetts. So some of the areas, they can have higher taxes, higher housing costs, higher, grocery costs, but everything as far as Northampton is really in check, which is fantastic. And again, going into crime rates, they're much lower than most of the suburban areas that are around it, and actually for the state and the federal level. So that's something that when you call Northampton your home, you're not going to have to worry about crime. I mean, a little bit, but not as far as a major factor, right? Last thing is, as far as education is concerned, it ranks well compared to the other towns in the area. Not super high ranking, not super low ranking, but it's kind of right in between as far as education is concerned. So like we were talking about before, as far as looking for a town or a city, I mean, Northampton really has a lot to offer people. So there's a couple things as far as the cons of living out in Northampton, right? So just like that, some people might consider it to be a huge factor or a huge benefit, but really the population is smaller there. Like we said, kind of hovering around that 29,000. So depending on what you like and what your natural tendency is for, I'm used to being in the city environment. That's my roots come from there. So a place like Northampton is going to be a little bit smaller for me, and not going to have as many services. So it's definitely, there's great economic conditions there. However, it's a smaller population. So that's something you just want to think about. The other things that really kind of fall in the same category, two different fronts, is really the distance. So being out in Western Massachusetts, again, a guy from the city, a guy that grew up on the water, being as far as the coast and all those activities that it offers as far as a water person, it's really far away, right? So, well, really far away as far as I'm concerned. It's definitely going to be, over an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get into Boston from Northampton. So that's a little bit too far for me. Of course, you could, come closer, jump on the commuter rail. You can get there if you need to, but just to pack up and go to the beach for the day, it's not going to be that convenient. Same thing as far as distance is concerned. You definitely have those major economic hubs as far as Springfield and then Worcester. But again, as far as the big city, right, our big city of Boston, downtown Boston, right there as far as the coast is concerned. So it's going to take a while to get there. So that's something people just want to consider. And again, anytime you're relocating, you definitely want to think about what are the great things, what are the opportunities for to get better, and then you really make a decision from there. All right, so that was just a couple things as far as the pros and the cons as far as Northampton are concerned. Again, you want some more specific information, definitely reach out to us. You can get in touch with us a plethora of ways. We appreciate you watching. We really have a lot of fun making these videos. All kinds of systems in place as far as everyone reaching out. We got people calling from Canada, Texas, Georgia. I mean, you name it, they're calling. So if you're looking to relocate, you're looking to just visit, you have questions, we have answers. Just remember, when it comes to Massachusetts, we've always got your back.